Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Hello and welcome to not an 80s toy review, but a 70s toy review. We're taking a look at Steve Austin. No, not this Steve Austin. We're taking a look at the original Colonel Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man, played by Lee Majors. And I want to give a shout out to Gaz before I start this review. He's a huge fan of the $6 Million Man. It's one of his biggest heroes. So Gaz, this one goes out to you. Picked this one up at Trinkets toy show. That was in Fergus just a couple of weeks ago, Fergus, Ontario. And that has quickly become my favorite toy show. If you want to find some good vintage stuff at toy shows, get out of the big cities. There's too much competition. Go to the smaller towns, get to enjoy a beautiful scenic drive out to the small towns, really friendly people out in the smaller towns, and then you get to find some pretty amazing stuff like this 12-inch doll before people got sensitive about calling these things action figures all the time. This was a doll. And this is actually one of my very first toys that I ever had. My mom brought home from the secondhand store a big box of secondhand toys. And they were busted and missing parts. And that was one of the coolest things I ever got in my entire life. And Steve Austin was in that box. He was missing his outfit, he was missing a limb. And I would later learn that the reason he was missing a limb is because his limbs are removable. But it didn't matter to me, and I'm actually to this day grateful for that box of busted toys, because it tempered my expectations, and that's why I just don't get worked up about silly stuff that doesn't matter, especially when it comes to toys. Any imperfections, anything like that, this thing to me looks mid-condition to me compared to the original one that I had. And I've seen these pop up at toy shows now and then, but I just didn't feel like dropping whatever they were charging to reacquire one of these, and then went to the Trinkets toy show, and it was less than half of what these usually go for, including the box too. I never expected to get the box. I never had the box to begin with. So, yeah, again, go to those small town toy shows. Take a trip out, half hour outside your town. Go Google them, find out where they are. This particular figure comes in, I'm told, a Canadian box. And a few people at the toy show told me that was a big deal. So, I'll give you a look at this box. The show came out in '73. The toy came out, it does say around here, 1977, and you see it says General Mills Fun Group, Colonel Steve Austin. What? You know, it's kind of funny. When this guy first appeared in WCW, calling himself Steve Austin, I always thought, man, that's really weird. I mean, how can he call himself Steve Austin? Because Steve Austin is this guy. Right here, that's Colonel Steve Austin. Who's this guy? I think he is. And now all these years later, this guy has become so well known and popular that the new generation that's never heard of the $6 Million Man or Lee Majors, when they hear this guy is called Steve Austin, Stone Cold immediately comes to mind. Box features some custom artwork, new Bionic grip. That was another huge bonus that I wasn't expecting to get. There's actually two of these for sale at the toy show that I was at. One of them came with box and complete-ish, I guess. And this, look at this thing. It's a steel girder, but it's like bendy. It's like rubbery steel girder. And then there was another one for sale there, not in quite as nice shape as this one, and it was missing a shoe. So the price of this one with both shoes, outfit, steel girder, rare Canadian pink box. Wasn't really that much more than the one that was missing a shoe. Let's finish looking at the box before we take a look at the figure. There's a graphic down there that shows off the... I remember this worked on mine when I was a kid, the Bionic eye. And there's also the Bionic arm module. And on the back, oh, look at that! You can actually test his Bionic eye through the box. That's a cool feature. Showing off the Bionic arm, the grip, push a button on his forearm, and grab the steel girder, and then a couple of the other figures that were available. OSI Undercover Assignment with the Canadian tuxedo right there. Might have to pick one of those up. Mission to Mars and test flight. So wow, that is a huge bonus. Getting the box for this guy. Never expected to get one, especially in such nice shape. And this guy's actually not a 12-inch figure. Got another, guess you could call him a Bionic Man as well. Custom outfit for Days of Future Past Wolverine from the very end of the movie. And that's about a 12-inch figure. Colonel Austin looks quite a bit bigger than that. He's actually about 13.5 inches. So quite a bit taller than a Barbie or Ken doll. And here's a 360. Before I get into the details, really cool red tracksuit. Nice looking sneakers. Exceptionally clean looking. The stand was not included. That's something I just added onto him. He's got a little button on the back for one of his action features. Close up of his sneakers. And he's actually got socks too. And a close-up 360 of his head. So by today's standards, I guess the big takeaway would be the giant gaping hole in his head for his Bionic eye. Doesn't bother me in the slightest because nostalgia is filling that eye socket right up for me. I guess I've just gotten so used to this guy looking like that I don't see the Terminator 1 Arnold fixing his damage in the motel room mirror type of look to it. And why don't we take a look at that Bionic eye and see what happens when we look through it? Well, we got nothing to look at, so why don't we grab the other Steve Austin and see what happens. Now, if I remember correctly, it did not make it look closer. It actually made it look farther away, which is what's happening here. The camera lens, especially 4K, it's having quite a bit of trouble trying to focus and get that to work. And I think if you look through the other way, it does magnify it actually. Let's see if we can do that. That effect isn't really going to work there. Pretty nice head sculpt. Always surprises me how good the head sculpts looked in the 70s. And that is definitely Lee Majors. Nice job on that. Look at that. That's an amazing condition for how old this thing is. This thing is almost as old as me. Fantastic. The previous owner did not play around with this thing at all. And a testament to just how not played with this thing was. So it had originally, I guess, a sleeve, like a rubber sleeve that you could roll up on this. And when I originally opened this did not look like this. So the hand, when you push the button, it does that, right? Well, I didn't realize that the rubber whatever you call it, hardened, calcified, had become completely rigid. And so I was trying to figure out, how do I get this hand to close? And by pushing it, all of the hardened rubber it's flaking off now. So as I've been doing this review, little flecks of it keep coming off, breaking off. I'm sure I could just peel that. Oh, there's a big fleck right up there. I'm sure that'll peel right off. But that's how one of the action features works. Oh, I guess that's where the hose goes. There's a little hole in there for the hose. Open that up, and the way this works is that you can have him grip, and the way this works is that you open up the hand, and then you can have him grip something like the Ring of Barahir. Push the button, and the hand closes on it with a bionic grip. That's one way to make sure your jewelry doesn't get stolen. No one's getting that. That is a bionic grip right there. And he's also got bionic super strength in his hand, so this button that was in the back, if you just push it like that, nothing will happen. The way to activate it is to turn his head. Turn his head to the side, and now when you push the button, ever so slowly, and then in order to have him release it, you just turn his head. It doesn't seem to work if the head is turned the other way, only if it's turned that way. Let's make sure. Turning it the other way seems to release the arm back down. It's surprisingly strong, actually. This is a pretty big chunk of rubber. And again, I'm shocked that that works as well as it does. Articulation for a 1977 figure is actually really shockingly good. He's got quite a bit of range in his shoulder. You can do a 360 on it, as well as up and down a little bit. The elbow is not on a ball joint, but sort of is. Can't go side to side. Oh, it sort of can. This thing is so old and nice condition. I don't want to force anything, but I mean, the wrist can go in and out and twist. This one can turn, the bionic arm. I'm guessing the bionic arm can be removed because there are the extra accessories that you can swap out his limbs. I'm not going to get into that, at least not with this video. If I ever hunt down some of the limbs, I'll try to get into that type of stuff. He's got red shorts on underneath. I wonder if one of the legs in here is bionic. Nope, they're both flesh-colored legs. Like I said earlier, they even gave him socks. The shoes are nice and rubbery, so very easy to take off and put on. No holes in the socks. Amazing. It's got to be the only pair of socks from 1977 that don't have any holes in them. And I'm thinking you can put him in a pretty decent running pose. Even got an ankle tilt forward, as well as twist back and forth. This is really surprising. And there he is in a really impressive running pose. It's extremely impressive for a 1977 doll, because there's modern 1/6 scale figures that don't have this range. Some of them because of their outfit, if they're wearing like leather or rubber outfits, but some of them are just, they don't have that much range in the shoulders and the legs. So that's an awesome bonus, because from the intro, Colonel Steve Austin running in the intro, showing off his bionic legs. So not just a cool figure that just stands there, but you can actually get him in a pretty impressive action pose. Hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks as always to the Patreon tribe for all your support. Much appreciated. If you would like to join the Patreon tribe, support the channel, as well as gain access to lots and lots of exclusive videos, we're over 200 now, of reviews, roundtables, discussion videos. Go to patreon.com/MichaelMercy, all sorts of different levels, depending on what you're able to contribute. And another way to support the channel is becoming a channel member, hitting that join button, which will get your name in the credits, as well as access to custom emojis. So thanks to everyone who goes above and beyond to support the channel. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all of your encouragement as well. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up button. So much appreciated. And just thanks for watching. Hope you're doing good out there. Until next time, good night, good luck, God bless, and stay bionic.